I haven't had breakfast since 2012, and this is what happened. In this video, I'm going to show you why you should start skipping breakfast if you want to lose weight. What's up guys, Carlo Macapinlac here from newbiefitnessacademy.com. I help busy professionals look good shirtless so they can feel more confident and get the most out of their lives. Okay, conventional wisdom states that breakfast is the most important meal of the day. I mean, there's no better way to start your day than eating a big breakfast, right? Well, it kind of depends. Like, there's nothing wrong with having bacon, eggs, and avocado first thing in the morning, for example. It's full of healthy saturated fats and protein. The problem is, we're all busy and people rarely ever cook breakfast these days. So we resort to whatever is easy or whatever we can take on the go. So instead, we just grab a bagel or a muffin or a donut or shove a bowl of breakfast cereal or instant oatmeal down our throat because it's fast and it's easy. And that's true. It's easier to just reach into the kitchen cabinet and just have a bowl of cereal. Better yet, stop by your closest drive-thru window and order ourselves a breakfast sandwich and polish it off with a glass of orange juice, and we think we're eating healthy. I mean, that's a pretty typical breakfast for a lot of people in North America, right? That's probably what you ate this morning. Hey, leave a comment below what you had for breakfast this morning. Now, it doesn't help that this is what's been branded as the right thing to do, and people kind of just go along with it. And we've never really questioned it. I mean, how easy is it to put a cartoon character on a box of cereal and sell it to a kid? And we all had our favorite breakfast cereal brand growing up, right? And so much of it has to do with the breakfast food industry and all these big food corporations because they have to sell their cereal or their granola bar, so it's a lot easier for them to toe the company line and proclaim that breakfast is the most important meal of the day. And I used to be so guilty of this. The thought of skipping breakfast never crossed my mind. I always made sure that I picked up a bagel or a muffin and just shoved it in my mouth, even though I wasn't really hungry, because that's what we've always been taught, right? Never start the day on an empty stomach. It's bad for you. You won't be able to function because you won't have any energy. And there's nothing intrinsically wrong with eating breakfast, by the way. I love breakfast food. However, there's a huge difference when you eat it and an even bigger difference with how your body reacts with what you eat. For example, eating bacon and eggs versus a bowl of Frosted Flakes or one of those energy bars on the go. And as a society, we're so in love with anything with the word energy attached to it. I mean, that's how Red Bull built a multi-billion-dollar brand. It gives you wings, right? Back to our breakfast examples. As soon as you eat it, your body responds completely different between the two. The eggs and bacon is made up of mostly saturated fat and protein, while your breakfast cereal is mostly refined carbs and sugar. The former will keep you full and satiated for hours to come, while the latter is a sugar bomb and wreaks havoc once it enters your system. I mean, I don't think anybody in their right mind would think that the body responds to them the same way. It just doesn't. So let's talk about that. People say that a calorie is a calorie, whether it's from fat, carbs, or protein, as if your body responds to them equally. I mean, the entire Diet Coke and zero-calorie movement is built around that idea. And it's got to be one of the biggest lies in the history of nutrition. Well, it's a tie between that and everyone believing that fat makes you fat. Check out my videos about those topics if that's news to you. Now, the problem starts when people are led to believe, and this is what food corporations and fitness experts want you to think, that a 500-calorie bowl of Frosted Flakes, white bread, instant oatmeal, energy bars, and other refined carbs and highly processed carbs is the same as eating a 500-calorie breakfast of eggs, bacon, and avocado. That is a hot negative. Not even close. And then we're sold on this idea that it's made out of whole wheat and it contains fiber. Then they say that it's fortified with vitamins and minerals, so it's got to be good for you, right? It even has a fancy little check mark on the box as if that means that it's automatically healthy. Guess what? It doesn't get a free pass. Let's break things down a little further on how your body reacts every time you put food in your mouth, and this might be groundbreaking information for some people. This is a super important concept to grasp, so pay attention. You see, all foods stimulate the hormone insulin in some way, shape, or form. Certain foods stimulate it more than others. Insulin, if you've never heard of it before, is a very important hormone in your body. It's a storage hormone. It's the hormone that tells people to gain weight. People hardly ever talk about this because everyone just wants to focus on cutting calories. Calories in versus calories out, right? The problem is, calorie counting has about a 98% failure rate. It simply doesn't work. And that should sound familiar if you've ever gone on a diet and you ended up gaining back the weight you've lost. So, why is insulin so important? It's important because high insulin is going to cause you to gain weight, and persistently high levels of insulin causes insulin resistance. Basically, if you have something called insulin resistance, your body produces more insulin. It's your body's natural mechanism to overcome this resistance that you've created from eating too much insulin-stimulating foods. It actually produces more insulin. And that's bad news because insulin resistance opens up Pandora's box to all types of disease, including diabetes and obesity. That's right. And nobody ever talks about this. What spikes insulin the most, you ask? Well, it's sugar and refined carbs. I mentioned those two things specifically because a lot of the typical food that we eat for breakfast has either A, hidden sugars, or B, is made out of refined carbs. That includes, are you ready for this? Breakfast cereals, granola bars, energy bars, breakfast croissants, and other pastries. Yep, the stuff that we typically eat for breakfast. Now, the biggest determinant of insulin resistance is how often you eat and the types of food that you eat. That's why eating 6 meals a day to lose weight makes absolutely no sense. I mean, how could you possibly expect to lose weight if you're eating all the time? Stop. Just stop. The way you reset your insulin sensitivity is to have periods of time where you allow insulin levels to be low. And the only natural way to do this is by simply taking a break from eating. Like, I don't know, skipping breakfast? Mind-blowing stuff, I know. This is also called time-restricted feeding, or it's more commonly referred to as intermittent fasting. And the very word breakfast literally means break fast. It's the meal that breaks your fast. As you can see, you're already fasting every day. It's called sleeping. But sleeping for 8 hours is not enough to lower your insulin levels to the point where you can access your fat source and get into weight loss. It's just not. Now, if you start pushing it further by extending your fast and skipping breakfast and even lunch, and that's when you get into the 1 meal a day territory, then you're gonna start getting into fat loss because you're allowing your insulin levels to get low enough to the point where you start using body fat as a source of energy. And that's what we want. You see, this is how your body naturally works. It's what your body is designed to do during periods when there's no food in your stomach. It starts burning fat. That's why skipping breakfast or time-restricted eating or intermittent fasting or whatever you want to call it is such a powerful tool when it comes to weight loss. And think about it this way. What do you think will happen if you stop eating? What do you think will happen if you eat 2 meals a day instead of 3? You're gonna lose weight. I don't think you need to be a rocket scientist to work out that math. All you have to remember is that if you want to lose weight, it's all about managing your insulin levels and not necessarily about the calories. Calories are important, but only after you manage your insulin levels. You gotta remember that when you decide to skip breakfast, you're simply taking a break from eating to let your body use your own body fat as a source of energy. It's not a period of starvation, and that is such an important concept to wrap your head around. You're not gonna die if you skip breakfast. Eating 6 meals a day, according to the experts, is simply not what your body wants to do because every time you eat, again, your insulin level goes up. So if you eat your 6 meals a day, you keep telling your body, keep storing fat. You don't need to burn it. Look at all this food coming in that we can use for energy instead. You eat, you store fat. It's as simple as that. We did not evolve to eat 6 meals a day. But again, it's just been institutionalized for quite some time now that breakfast is the most important meal of the day. You gotta start the day with a good breakfast. You'll have lots of energy. That's what we've been told, but the truth is, your body already does that for you. Let me explain. If you look at what your body does before you wake up, your body actually has a surge of hormones which pushes glucose out of your system, which you can use for energy. That's right, your body supplies you with energy. Your body also produces growth hormones and adrenaline to get you primed for the day. Your body's actually super smart about making sure that you're good to go from the moment you wake up. And this makes sense because back in the Paleolithic times, food wasn't always available. Do you think our ancestors woke up and said, geez, better make sure I eat breakfast before I go hunting for food? No, there was no breakfast available. They simply went out hunting. Sometimes they would go days without food and they were fine. Long story short, there's nothing wrong with eating breakfast. I mean, I love breakfast food. I really do. You just don't always have to be married to the idea that you have to eat first thing in the morning. You don't. If you're not hungry, don't eat. Black coffee will do you just fine. The best tip that I can offer once you actually decide to start skipping breakfast is you gotta stay busy. You gotta stay productive. If you don't, you're gonna think that there's something missing from your morning routine, then you start obsessing over it. Next thing you know, you're on your way to the closest drive-thru window to get yourself a breakfast bagel. All right? So pro tip for you guys, you gotta stay busy. Next thing you know, it'll already be lunchtime and you can have your quote-unquote breakfast. Okay, the next question then becomes, how are you actually supposed to eat if you want to lose weight? Because let's be honest, 80% of your body composition goals is determined by your diet. You can't just freestyle this part. Do you have a proven plan that you can follow? To help you with that, I want to give you a free copy of my Lean Body Blueprint. This is how I melted all the fat around my stomach and turned it into a six-pack without going on a crazy diet or wasting hours at the gym. It's a simple 4-step process specifically designed for busy professionals, and it's the exact same blueprint that I teach all my private coaching clients, and they've all gone to see some amazing results. If you want to be the next success story, then download your free copy of the Lean Body Blueprint right now. There's going to be a link in the description box. Just click on it, type in your email, and I'll send it to you right away. Alright, that's all I've got. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it and share it with your friends. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I post a new video every Friday. And hey, comment below the video if and when you start skipping breakfast and tell me how you feel. You can also share your weight loss results in the comment section. You're welcome. Alright, I'll see you there. Virtual high five.